All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakodash. Double honor, so venerable apostles and elders of a great Muslim who were well. And peace and blessings to Lord's elect, the house of David. It's a brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting once the elect. All right, and as you can see, all right, title goes, it feels like the end of an era. Okay, you have gas prices, you have food, hyperinflation. There's a lot of things that's going on right now that all signify the end of something. All right, and it's actually a vibration that's in the air right now. Okay, everywhere you go, every corner you turn, everywhere you look, is something that's like, wow, this is it. Like this is finished. Like it's a vibration of the end. Okay, and I was talking to a friend of mine who's in he lives in Pennsylvania. Okay, and he was telling me he works at one of these the Toyota dealerships, okay, out there in Philly. All right, and he was saying it. He said, "Yo, bro, everything that you were saying is true, man. It's coming to pass. All right, out here on the lot, within the past 2 months, they went from having, he said, about over 400 cars on the lot at once. I mean, he said they used to be filled to the brim. I mean, no, there's no space. They had too many cars. He said, and now he said it's about 60, 55 to 60 cars that's on the lot. And those are all used cars. There's no more brand new cars, man. Why? Because he said that the company's telling them that there's a chip shortage, which is something that we've been talking about. And I asked him, I was like, "Oh, what's that about?" Sometimes, you want to coax them to give you more information. So I said, "What's that about?" He said, "Oh, the chips that they use to build the motherboard for these cars. A lot of these cars are all electronic. All right, the motherboard that they use is from those chips, and apparently there's a shortage of those chips. All right, there's also a shortage of steel. The things that they use to to build the cars and so on and so forth. There's a shortage of that as well. So he was saying that he was like, yo, at this point, the next thing that he expects is going to happen is, the boss is going to come down with the order, that yo, we're going to send all these cars to auction and just wholesale, whatever salvage, whatever they make out of it, they make it whatever it is what it is, But when he said that, I said, hey, look at food. You go to these grocery stores, and I've been mentioning this for the past couple of weeks. All right, you go to these grocery stores. The only thing that you're seeing there is a whole lot of candy, a whole lot of Halloween candy, man. That shit fills up a whole bunch of aisles. Okay, but right now, all you see is what I just said. The candy, the things that really don't matter. But the things that you're noticing that's not there is water. There's a lot of shortages of water. There's a shortage on meat, those kind of things. There's a shortage on toiletries, because a lot of people are buying those things up, And I was telling him, I said, look, you might want to go invest in some gold, some silver, get some canned goods. You got to start getting into the mindset of living at the bare minimum. Okay, that's what it's looking like it's coming down to, that everybody's gonna have to live at below their means. Okay, way below their means, man. Going on the days where you're driving all these expensive cars, and I was like, yo, bro, just your car alone, you're spending $1,100 a month on your car alone. You're driving this nice ass Beamer. That's an attractive car. You're setting yourself up for issues. As a man, you shouldn't be thinking like that. Okay, having a house that you're paying almost, there was a 1,600 plus a month on a house that you living by yourself, and then you got to worry about the utility bills that comes with that. You got to worry about the gas prices that's going up. Your car takes a lot of gas. It takes over $60 to fill up your gas tank. Now we got inflation going on. I mean, hey, shalom, shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Shalom, yabashim yashar brakatham. All right, we just get into the spirit of prophecy. All right, so hey, shalom and Tawada for joining me. All right, but out there in the UK, and that's what we're gonna read. All right, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. there was a shortage in gas. All right, it's happening now where they're saying that the military is the one that's going to be out there sending, all right, the gas to these the people that need it. Okay, so they already set it up that way. Okay, so we can see how all the things that they set up since the beginning of this so-called pandemic is about to start unraveling. Okay, it's going to start unraveling, and it's a lot of things that happen all at once. All right, they weren't signing all these executive orders and all these different things just to sign them. Okay, they did that as a strategic thing to keep the people down. They kept giving all these stimulus checks. We said at some point it's going to run out. All right, the stimulus checks was to force you to stay home so you're not going to go to work. All right, now that you want to go to work, you can't. Now you have to depend on them, just like how you've been depending this whole time. All right, but anyway, let's get right into this. All right, because there's a lot going on, man. A lot of things are going on all at once. Okay, but we're going to dissect it little by little. All right, it says European gas power hyperinflation getting more surreal by the day. All right, and that's the spirit. Okay, a lot of things, the reality is setting in, and people are realizing day by day. You know, yesterday I went to the grocery store and I was asking one of the girls that works there. I said, "Yo, how long has the shortage has been going on? Because you could barely find stuff. You know, you get there, they're like, oh, we don't have this. Oh, damn, there's no more of this. You know." And she said, pretty much since the beginning of the pandemic. So I said, damn, for a whole year and a half, this is what's been happening, and it made sense that yeah, it was happening, but because they had things in the back, they were able to keep restocking the shelves. But right now, the whole storehouse is empty. The storehouses are suddenly empty, like the scripture says. You see, so now they can't even bring things from the back to even place on the shelves. All right, so that's a whole thing right there. Now the people are starting to see it. There was a lady who pulled up next to my Eva. She said, she's like, oh my goodness, like it looks like the stores are becoming empty about the day. I went to the other store to find this, and same thing. And she was like, yeah, it's been like this for the past couple of weeks. So that reality is setting in, man. And you wait till when you go to a gas station and it's $4 a gallon, and that's the cheapest gas you could have. 3, 4 gas stations down the block is $10 a gallon. And tomorrow, that's going to be the cheapest gas price. So right here today, for hours, you got people lined up at this one gas station trying to get gas for $4 a gallon. You're going to have a lot of people get frustrated. You're going to have a lot of people turning violent. And then you get there and then they say, yo, there's no more gas. Now everybody flocks to the next gas station. So it's just going to keep on going. You know, one day you come to a store, this thing says $10. You're like, oh, hell no, $10. I'm not spending $10 for this. And then you leave and you come back a few more hours, $25. You go, what? Damn, I should have gotten it when it was $10. You see? So that's hyperinflation. It's going to keep happening. It's already happening in the East. It's going to start coming over here to the West. Okay? And if they're feeling it already over there, you best believe America, yo, it is what it is. Okay? But let's read. It says the hyperinflation in Europe gas and electricity prices is getting more surreal by the day. Okay? 2 days after we said that European natural gas and power prices hit escape velocity after Russia unexpectedly cut supplies, prices jumped to records, signaling the supply shortage will only get worse just as the cold winter season starts on Friday. And they've been saying what Operation Dark Winter. Okay, it looks like everything is leading to this winter being one in history. One that's going to be the defining time is really the crisis. Okay, the real crisis is going to happen that people are really going to feel it. Okay, because it's going to be a side effect of all the things that was happening, all right, over the past year. Okay, the year and a half. Okay, we talked about how farmers in the Midwest were complaining about how they weren't able to grow their crops. This was back in 2019. You see, so they messed up on that. You had the whole blockage that happened last year, or was it earlier this year? I think the Panama Canal. Okay, or no, the Suez. I believe it was the Suez Canal. Okay, that's a whole issue right there that's affecting a lot of these companies. Remember, America is not they don't produce, all right, they consume. So a lot of things have to come from different parts of the world. And if those things can't reach here, hey, what's going to happen? All right, I believe out there in Cali, they're already facing all kinds of madness out there, man. You know, so it's already here in America. It's just people haven't finally realized it yet. It hasn't hit. It hasn't hit. You personally yet. But once it does, people are going to start acting a little different. And things are going to get a little tight. Tensions are going to rise, and it's going to get pretty sick. All right, very, very sick actually. Okay, but that's why we keep our faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because that's the only way out. You see what's coming, you're like, how am I gonna make it? You know, I was asking my boy, I was like, yo, bro, so how do you expect, you know, that the next few months you can't pay your rent because you're gonna be out of a job? They're gonna lay guys off. All of you, they're gonna lay you off. There's no job, there's no work to do. Okay, there are no cars to sell. So the business is going down, just like it did back in '07, '08, '09. Okay, the whole stock market crash that happened, the economy that got messed up. America still never recovered from that. Okay, so that's that. And then you're piling onto what's happened now. A couple of years ago, they were saying that America back in 2018, 2019 was in a worse state than what happened back when the economy collapsed back in '08, '09. America was in a worse state back then. They had passed a depression. So now, when you're finally going to get to see it, because they've been manipulating the numbers, once you finally get to see it, it's going to be too late. It's like, damn, like it's going to be such a harsh hit because you're going to be like, I didn't know it was this bad. Yes, because people are not paying attention. They're all distracted with the whole media and all this BS, you know? Hmm. Out there in Australia, and we're going to read a little bit about that. They're just done. They are done. They're finished. All right. And that's what they're about to do here in America very soon. Just watch. All right, we're gonna tie it all in. But it says Dutch natural gas for next month, the European benchmark rose as much as 13.4% to 98.23 euros or 98.23 euros per megawatt hour. Okay, now I don't really understand how that you know translates to America, but it seems pretty drastic. All right, based on how they're giving the percentages, and percentages matter. Okay, 1% of a billion is a lot more than you think. Okay, so let's just read. All right, it says euros per megawatt hour. It says the UK contract also surged 17.4% to a new high of 253.53 pence a term. Both contracts have more than doubled in price over the past month. Just in the past month alone, these two things have more than doubled. Okay, so what does that tell you about America? What's happening over there? Because this is a global market. We all affect some way, somehow, the global market. All right, America especially. Okay. It says both contracts have more than doubled in price over the past month. German power for next year jumped as much as 12% to 132 euros per megawatt, while the equivalent gained 10.3 to 135.50 euros per megawatt hour. Both reached record highs on Thursday. Okay, and Thursday is today. Okay, now remember, I believe the UK is about 6 hours ahead of us. I don't think they've done the daylight saving thing, so it is 6 hours. We're still in the summertime. All right. So I believe I don't remember when. I think it's in November where we gain an hour, so then it'll be 7 hours interval. Okay, but it says while the where did I stop over? There you go, Thursday. Converted to oil price equivalents, these are priced rapidly approaching $200 per barrel. $200 per barrel. Now, a few months ago, I was looking into this. They were selling gas at like what, $30 per barrel, $15 per barrel, those kind of numbers. So when you really look at it like that, $200 per barrel compared to $30 per barrel a few months ago is drastic. That's a huge increase in percentages, man. You know, and that's what's happening. And who's talking about it? You're not talking about it. All right, look, UK Dutch gas prices. Look at that. From this to that. That's insane. All right, it says, as we have discussed in recent weeks, European stockpiles of everything from gas to coal and water for electricity production are in short supply, and there are few signs the situation will improve anytime soon as demand continues to roar back from pandemic-driven lull, Bloomberg writes today. And this is where we're going to go right into prophecy, okay? Because what does the prophecy say? It says, for lack of bread and great tribulation. So people are going to bug out because of those two things, okay? For lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. And let's see. Okay, second Ezra, and we always bring this up because we have to give you the warning. You have to know, so at least those who have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding can prepare. Okay, have the appropriate things that you need for what we're coming into, and the only thing you're going to need is your faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay, because that's your guidance. Okay, the understanding of the scriptures and what you need to do when the time comes. Okay, this world is about to be messed up to the point where they're gonna bug out. You could see it. You could see ain't shit happen yet, and people are bugging out already. They're in the spirit of desperation. The jobs, especially, people are questioning, yo, should I take this, Vanessa, or not? Well, if I don't do it, how am I gonna feed my family? These are the same people who are saying, nah, I'm not taking that shit. And now when the reality came, guess what? They're breaking. They're trying to rationalize, how am I gonna make it if I don't have this thing, if I don't comply, if I don't do this, if I don't do that? Yesterday, I believe United Airlines, they fired over 600 employees because what the term that they used was because the people didn't comply. That's what it is now. So now you're understanding that they're starting to ingratiate the concept of, if you don't comply, you will be punished, you will be reprimanded. And how far are you willing not to comply? They need to condition people because ultimately the MOTB is going to be the calling card. All these people that have been talking and all this stuff, you trust in Egypt and you want to live off of the ways of America and so on and so forth. This is the system that we're heading into. Don't you see how they're breaking everything down? Everything is becoming destructured. I did a video a couple of months ago about Maslow's hierarchy and how they've been able to break everything down to the point where we're at the base level, where everything you have now is about your base needs, your necessities, your food, your water, your shelter. Those kind of things is what they've knocked society down to. And soon it's going to be, you have to fend for yourself. If you don't know how to, get an animal that's wild and kill it and make food out of it, how are you going to survive? A lot of people who live in the city, when they see an animal, they run. Your natural instinct should be, I need food. This thing has to turn into food. How do I do that? How do I kill a simple turkey or a chicken or a bird or whatever? How do you do that? Most people don't know how to do that. Why? Because they don't teach you that. Your parents don't even know how to do that. If they go to a grocery store and they don't see chicken, fried chicken, that's already made and done for them to eat, they lose it. They can't think, how can I make my own food? People don't have those kind of survival tactics. Everything has to be done for them. Now, do you think us who are in the knowledge, we want to be around people who are not useful? No. You want to be around people who know how to do something. They can follow instructions, they can follow directions, because these times are dire. The least mistake, the miscommunication, the lack of faith and trust, it could be the detriment of somebody's life. And we know how these people in the world think. They're selfish and they're selfish and they don't know how to deal with little things. Everything has to be, above and beyond what they can perceive, just because it has to look good for the rest of the world to see. Those people in that mindset, you're done. You have to be able to do much with little in these times that we're coming in, man. Meaning your food intake has to go down, all right, and your faith has to increase. If you're in the mindset of carnality, it has to go down. Survival of the fittest. Have the mindset, if your mind is fit and your spirit is fit, your body's going to follow through. Don't worry about that. Okay? But this is it. It says what? There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, starting from 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So we're reading right here, all right, about what's going on in the UK. It looks like it's affecting the UK. It's affecting Russia. It's affecting Germany, all right, Denmark. These are European countries, all right, and majority of them, except for Russia, all right, these countries that I just mentioned, they're all part of the EU, which is all part of the beast. Okay, Germany, the UK, all right. Who else? And I believe the UK just did the whole Brexit thing, so they're being punished for that. These elites are punishing them for that. But ultimately, they're all part of the beast system, man, because they work together. Even if they're part of Brexit or not, they're still part of the beast system. Okay, because If they weren't, they wouldn't be going through the things that they're going through right now. All right. They're talking about the QR code and all these different things. That's mark of the beast type talk. All right. There's preparation to that. Okay. So let's go back to the second Esdras. Okay. Verse 15 says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay. So things that are being done in preparation against the people. That's what the Lord is saying. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, meaning weapons. Why would they fight? Let's read. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And that you see that right now, right here. All right. Australia's corporations rebel against government's draconian C or COVID lockdowns. Okay. They're rebelling. That means what? The prophecy stands once again. All right. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So forget about what a prime minister is going to tell you. Forget about what a mayor is going to tell you. Forget about what these so-called directors, CDC and FDA and Fauci this and trust the science. Forget about all that. When there ain't no foods on the shelves, there's nothing you're going to tell me that I have to hear. The rules don't matter no more. People's animalistic instincts kick in. We're entering a time of cannibalism. When have you seen or heard in American history of cannibalism? And you're living in a time that that history has never even recorded about the place that you're living in, which is America. They've been living so deliciously, and now they've gotten to a point where they might have to eat each other deliciously. Americans have never really experienced that. So they're gonna break so easily just because of fear alone. All right? Because of fear alone, man. All right, and the lack of faith. Okay, it says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So however they think and see fit is how they're gonna move. All right. If it's look, I have to break this thing down, if I have to take out this old lady over here, if I have to, kill this thing over here, I'm gonna do it. That's the mindset. Okay, and they've been conditioned to do so. And these women, guess what's happening to these women now? A lot of them are starting to see the reality. Micah 7 and 10. They're starting to see the reality. So guess what's happening? They're like, oh, this whole concept of equality, forget about that. The men got to lead. The government came out and said something about the draft, and all of a sudden, women want to get pregnant. Scripture says, "Woe unto you that give suck in that day." So you basically you're making yourself handicapped. You're making yourself handicapped, man. That's not the solution. All right. But it's because of their lack of understanding. That's why they're doing these things, man. But it's all going to come back to bite them. You're not going to escape this. All right. Whatever is coming, you people are not going to escape it because you're not preparing yourselves to escape. You don't have the very ingredient that's going to help you escape, which is faith. You're all filled with fear, and you're going to act based on your fear. And that's going to lead you right into a concentration camp or right behind a bullet. That's it. Okay. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? So many different factors to that. Whether it's fear of I might not make it, whether it's restrictions, physically restricted, you can't step out of your house if you can't show proof of identity. Okay. Your parents, they're not allowing you to come to where you like for them to go, or for you where you like to go. Okay, maybe you want to go visit. They're like, nah, you're not welcome here. You desire to go see them, but they don't desire to see you. You see, there's a lot of different factors that's gonna happen. Listen, what if you can't drive? Okay, because you ain't got no gas. Look at all this stuff that's happening. You ain't got no gas, you don't have money, and even if you do have money, you don't even have the resources. You see? And guess what? You're gonna have FEMA getting involved, and you're gonna have the military getting involved. These two entities come together, it spells disaster for the people. Point blank, period. There ain't no other way around it. Okay, FEMA is not here to help you. No matter what they say, do not trust FEMA. When they start coming to doors and knocking, and we're here to give assistance and aid, don't trust them, because you trusted the devil, and look where we at now. The more you trust him, the more he's gonna kick his foot up your ass. That's how they work. That's the nature of the beast. Okay. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if men are going to be afraid, how much more the women? You see what I'm saying? How much more the women? This goes to show you how feeble this society is, man. All right? This society is so feeble, they haven't seen anything, man. Some of us who have experienced life in different parts of the world, we actually got the experience of working with our hands. We actually saw things. We lived through things. Being in the dark for weeks, you could live through that. How can you use nature to your benefit? People are surrounded by nature and they wouldn't know how to use it. If you had a deer, a live deer in your face right now, would you be able to kill it and make food for you and those around you at that time? Most men will say they don't know how to do it. They're gonna run. A lot of these guys who go to school, go to work, and all these different things, and have a degree and all, they don't know how to work with their hands. A lot of them grew up with their mothers. All that their mothers do is go to work, go to work, go to work. They don't even have time to build your sons up. You see, so a lot of these survival tactics, people don't know these things, basic things. Now, when we say gather yourselves and prepare yourselves, go get you a few canned goods here and there, water, this and that, it's not that it's going to save you because Proverbs 11 and 4 tells you that what? Riches profit not in the day of wrath. So those things are not going to save you. We're not saying go and depend on those things. Leave that to the world, okay? Because those things you're going to depend on are empty. But to avoid that rush, that initial rush of having to run to the store like everybody else, and you might say, I'm not gonna go right now. I'm gonna wait till these people go, and then by the time you get there, it's empty, and there's no replenishment. That's what we're saying. If you can get some of that shit now to avoid that rush, because it's going to happen. And we live in this society. You're gonna need these things. You're gonna need water. You're gonna need toiletries, and get them while you can. You know, get them while you can. That's just being wise. You're planning ahead. You're foreseeing the evils and you're preparing yourselves, right? Because you don't want to get caught up there with these wicked people, man. There's gonna be it's gonna be chaotic. All right. So it says what? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay. And that's what we're reading now. Okay. Because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there's going to be a shortage of food. Okay. A shortage of water. Okay. A shortage of all these different things that people look at as everyday essentials. Why is it called essential? Because you need it. It's not a want, it's a need. What happens when your needs cannot be met? You start to act out of character. And that's what you want to avoid in the initial rush because these people don't even think. There's zombies out there now, especially a lot of them are all zombified and Vanessa. They're not human. All right. They're not human. I've seen videos of people kicking cars and got a knife in his hand and he's trying to get into it's like, yo, calm down, bro. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, it says, as we have discussed in recent weeks, European stockpiles of everything from gas to coal and we read that already. It says not helping the already critical situation. Russian gas flows to Germany's Malno terminal dropped again, pairing yesterday's partial recovery. Yesterday, supplies via the major transit route are about a third less than at the beginning of the week. So just this 1 week alone. I mean, today's already Thursday. The days are moving so fast you can't even keep up. It's already Thursday. Think about that. Man, it's crazy. And within 1 week, look at how things can change. Soon it's gonna be within hours, within minutes. It's gonna be a sudden thing. You're gonna hear it once, at once, boom. The power probably goes out, and then breaking news. Some people might have electricity, others might not, because they can't just shut the whole thing, or they might, who knows? But they need to keep the fear. So some people might have no light here, and those who have light might be thinking, oh shit, yo, we gotta panic. Those people don't got light. And those who don't have light be like, yo, wait, what's going on? So it's confusion all at once. That's why it says sudden destruction. Okay? There's no food, there's no water, there's no gas, there's no electricity. And what did Klaus Schwab say? He said the next pandemic or the next catastrophe is going to make COVID look like a small disturbance in our day-to-day lives. People still haven't recovered from this COVID thing. this so-called pandemic. So what could possibly be happening in the next few weeks or months that's going to make this thing that we just went through, that basically changed the way we live now? You mean to tell me there's something more in the works that's going to make that look like nothing? That's the prophecies we're telling you. And Esau is also telling you. If this devil is coming out to tell you, and they say it with such confidence, then you got to know that we're real close to the end. Okay? It says supplies via the major transit route are about a third less than at the beginning of the week. And as Bloomberg notes, European utilities seeking to buy more coal from Russia will also be disappointed, as any exports are likely to be limited at least until Nord Stream 2 is officially open. All right, let's go down a little bit. Why is this thing frozen? This thing is moving slow. All right, it says, and while central bankers spent much of yesterday to convince the public how transitory the hyperinflation in commodities is, consumers have to pay astronomical energy bills right now, and they are hardly excited at the prospect of bills that could be 5 or more times higher. You hear that? This is all inflation, man. Remember, the prices are going up, but your pockets are pretty much staying the same, or if not lower, because there are no jobs. So you don't have that income that's always coming in, that revenue that's coming in. What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do, man? I'm telling you, man, this thing is about to happen just like that, because it's built up so much. Once it hits, everything is just gonna unravel. It's literally gonna unravel. It's gonna be like, oh shit, this was happening too, and this was too. This wow, all of a sudden at the same time. Yes. It says worse prices are about to get even higher as constraints have caught the market off guard, just as countries are about to start drawing down on the gas storage. So now people are going to start dipping into whatever that was left, or the storage that's been had, the barrels that's been kept for so long now, because these ships they can't send these things over. A lot of these ships are stopped at the dock. They can't even unload their stuff. These trucks who are supposed to send them to the gas stations, they said they're going on strike. They're not going to work because this whole Vanessa mandate. So there's a lot of things that has been put on a standstill that cannot be afforded to be put on a standstill, not even for one day. The things that are happening now, one day messes up at least a week, 2 weeks, a month. And we're talking about this for days, weeks, months, years. It's over. Once it hits, it's done. All right? This is what we're talking about when we say Jacob's trouble, man. It's over. That's why they're going to have to bring the military in, because people are not going to be able to handle that sudden shock. It's going to be panic, and it's going to be pandemonium. You don't want to be caught out there, man. I'm telling you. All right, you can feel it. It's like, nah, this I don't want to be a part of this shit when it happens. Being in a long ass line, you know, try to pay for the shit. Just try to pay for the shit. As you're in line, the prices are rising. So you pick the shit up from the shelf, and it's $10. You get to the register, that shit says $20. You're like, yo, whoa, hold on, whoa. They're like, yeah, the system just updated. Yeah. This is gonna be a time like never before, man. So you have to think of the worst possible things that could possibly happen, and how are you prepared for that? Are you equipped for this? If the answer is no, you better start turning back to the Lord. You better start praying heavy for the Lord to guide you and protect you, and to shield you from harm's way. And you gotta have faith in that. Okay, this is what we've been saying. Like, what do you think we were talking about this whole time? You just thought it would never happen. That's why. That's why. Now the reality is setting in, and the people of the world are starting to see it. But they ain't got no solutions. They have nowhere else to go, nowhere else to run, nowhere else to hide. And guess what? Now the government is about to start coming for you physically, because they're starting to push words out there talking about the CDC is talking about guns. And we said the moment they start coming for the guns, that means they're about to get ready to roll. Let's read. It says, and this is all being done strategically. Get the food, and then come in for the guns after. That's it. Render them hopeless and helpless. They can't defend themselves. This is what they're trying to do, man. European stocks are at the lowest in more than a decade for the first time of the year, for the first time of this year. For the first time this year, Salakia says, we didn't predict We didn't predict these prices coming. So everyone who is like experts are saying this. Experts, listen, when the Lord strikes, experts don't have no explanation, bro. Okay? When prophecy is in full effect, only the prophets will give you explanations. And wherever you fall on the side of the coin is between you and the Heavenly Father. But he's saying it. He said, we didn't predict these prices coming, but we told you it was going to happen. Scriptures told you it was going to happen. Alex Grant, Senior Vice President at Equinor ASA, said at a conference in London on Wednesday, quote, in the prices, there is a risk premium for what might happen going forward, and the risk is still very much dependent on gas supply. Meanwhile, French Prime Minister Jean Castex is scheduled to announce measures the government intends to put in place to mitigate the increase in energy prices this evening. Okay, so expect when it happens here in America, expect them to start telling you we're gonna have to turn out the lights to conserve energy. It's gonna be cold as shit. Everybody gonna be putting the heat up, the heater, people gonna be yo. It says elsewhere overnight, another three small UK energy providers went out of business on Wednesday. See, they went out of business. Hey man, things about to get real dire, real quick. All right, it says bringing the tally to 10 just in the past 2 months. Some 1.7 million homes have now been forced to switch providers. Now, that means that there was already people with that new provider, and then you just added another 1.7 million people. Isn't that going to also take an effect on those people who are already on that shit? That means they have to rationalize. Well, a lot more people joined in, so now you can't really use as much internet as you were before. You can't have this much energy. We're gonna have to distribute it. At some points of the day, we're gonna turn out the lights, and then we'll turn it back on at certain times of the day. So if you have food, electricity, food, whatever, do it at these times, these hours. They're gonna rationalize everything, man, and they're gonna bring people down to that third world class. Okay, the third world class, man, poor, depending on the government for everything. Okay, well, they said it. They said you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Now, who the hell asked you to give us that? We ain't asking for that. That's why you have us who stand up and say, look, unless we get our kingdom, we're not complying, bro. Okay, and you devils know that. All right. So continuing, it says. With the energy crisis leading to widespread shortages of gasoline across the UK, on Thursday, an estimated 27% of service stations in the UK still have no fuel, and 21% have only one grade in stock. Wow. According to a survey by the Petrol Retailers Association, 52% of sites report having both gasoline and diesel in stock, PRA says in a statement. That means they have to rationalize that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some shit like $130 per gallon. Man, because they have to do what they got to do. My boy was telling me, he said, look, the used cars cost more than the brand new cars right now. I said, what? Why? He said, because, supply and demand. I mean, demand and supply. The demand is up, but the supply is none. There's no supply. So whatever we have to put the price up so it can kind of like mitigate. It can, even out. So they're selling used cars, some shit that you could get for 30 grand. They sell it for 40, 50 grand, because they have to make up for the loss, you see? And that's just cars. So what about food? That's why I'm giving these drastic numbers because that's going to be reality very soon. Right now, it doesn't seem like reality. It sounds crazy. Like $130 a gallon. Are you crazy? Yes. That's going to be the reality. This is crazy. That's going to what people are going to start hearing that. Nah, there's no way. Yo, what the? Yo, how did God? Nah, how did he get to this point? Yo, bro, how did he get? So reality is going to happen just like that. Just watch. It says PRA members are reporting that whilst they are continuing to take further deliveries of fuel, this is running out quicker than usual due to unprecedented demand. So everyone is on edge. Everyone wants to fill up their tank because they don't want to get caught off guard, or the prices are coming up so high. It's like, I got to get it right now while I still can. That's why I said what I said. Brothers and sisters who are in the know, just be on the lookout and stay ahead the whole time. Just stay ahead. Keep watching and stay ahead. All right. It says Executive Director Gordon Balmer says, adding that quote, we would urge drivers to maintain their buying habits and only fuel up as when needed to ensure there is plenty of fuel to go around. Nobody's trying to hear that because now it says, yeah, good luck with that. That's right. Good luck with that. Good look what's happening out there in Australia, man. Okay. It says Australia's corporations rebel against government's draconian COVID lockdowns. So the reality has finally set in for certain people. Out here in America, it hasn't set in yet. It hasn't set in yet. It hasn't set in yet. Just wait. And once it does, you see the natural ways of how these beasts actually act. You see. All right. Let's read a little bit of this. It says Australia's corporate sector has finally had enough of the ongoing lockdowns that have left the country's economy hobbled and its people cut off from the rest of the world for months. And that was a design. Okay. That was done by design. It's going to happen here in America. What did they say? They said, welcome. This is your first day in the new world order. Okay. So that's going to show you that this is what they plan and intend to have the whole world go through. But Australia is just the testing grounds. Okay. They already have FEMA camps out there. They already got people in camps. They already got people being rationalized. They got people joining long lines. They have to show ID before they can go into a store. They have to show proof before they can get service. These are things that's happening already around the world. You see what I'm saying? They don't talk about it so people don't see it and think this isn't happening. This is happening. When you ask them, what are you doing to prepare? They have no answer. I mean, I guess I'm effed. That shouldn't be your answer, man. You see, these people would much rather give up in life than to turn to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's how it shows you how wicked they really are. All right? They have no faith whatsoever that they'll much rather just die than to seek Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And that's why you're going to get exactly what you're looking for, death. Okay? It says, increasingly frustrated by a slow Vanessa rollout and the ongoing lockdowns, the leaders of many of Australia's biggest companies, including BHP, Maguire, and Qantas, have signed a letter demanding the government acknowledge it's time to, quote, learn to live with the virus, as many other countries have done since C0 has finally been exposed as an impossible dream. It's a nightmare that you ain't gonna get out of. They said it. They said, get ready, we're gonna live with this thing. I don't see this going anywhere away soon. This was the plan from the beginning. All right. That's why we call it a pandemic. And YouTube is saying, nah, you can't say that now. Listen, we tell the truth. If you gotta do something about it, come physically and do something. We're tired of you. All right. All this talk shit, taking our videos down. Look, bro, that's all you can do. All right. Try to limit the truth from going out. But once this thing is shut down completely, the job is done. The job is done and they're ready. All hell about to break loose. All right. We know it's very short time that's left, man. You can feel it. Okay. And now that they're coming out and physically telling you, look, anything that's anti what we saying, we're going to take it down. In other words, the MOTB is on its way. And that's the one thing that they say, look, they came out and said it. If you speak against this or if you're not complying, it's not about health. It's not, they've skipped that stage now. It's about if you're not doing what we tell you to do, we will take you out. Point blank period, man. And we know what that means. Okay. It says in a letter which was reported by the FT, the signatories allege that Australia is making, quote, big mistakes in failing to reopen the world, reopen to the world. By making the lockdowns so severe and so increasingly long, the Australian government is putting politics before the well-being of the Australian people ahead of the federal elections that must be held by the end of May, when the Senate's present term is slated to expire. There ain't gonna be no election. They're not gonna let the people get to that point. Okay, they're gonna beat the will out of people to the point where you're not gonna want to live. F an election. That's gonna be the mindset. Like, look, bro, we're tired. Anything but this. that's what they need, man. It says the companies that signed the letter, quote, employ almost 1 million Australians and warned that lockdowns were having long-lasting effects on the economy. However, this shouldn't be news to Australia's political elite. Economist at Australia's central bank, the RBA already lowered their growth projections after a stronger than expected Q2 or quarter two GDP print. All right. But all the incremental data seen so far suggests that Q3 could be a disaster. Well, that coupled with the intensifying economic pressure from Beijing, which is trying to win a geopolitical stare down contest with the Australian government by locking or blocking a growing number of imports. Okay. As for Australia's infamous drawbridge, drawbridge border policy, the letter's signatories insisted that the decision to close Australia's border was a colossal mistake, and it was done by design. All right, it says the borders should have never been closed. Graham Turner, chief executive, blah, blah, blah. It says it's time for corporate Australia to turn its disquiet and rumblings into a roar. Now, the reason why you notice these president Biden and all these different people keep pushing for the corporations to gain the powers to be able to say yes or no to the Vanessa and all these different things is because they run these policies through the corporations. Because ultimately, America is a corporation in and of itself. It's not a country, it's a corporation. And how do you know that? Look at the policies that they're putting through. They're always saying, well, these corporate buildings and these businesses are going to be the ones who can enforce these things. We're going to speak to them. We're going to give them all this money, these loans, and so on and so forth. But these companies are dumb. You're not realizing that you actually need the people. Okay? Because once that money, the loans that they're giving you, the government is giving you runs out, you're going to have to need the people to come in and supplement. Without the customers, you're open now, but ain't nobody coming in. How do you stay open? You going to keep depending on the government? You're going to keep depending on the feds? And I'm hearing that they're going to have a shutdown very soon. So then what? That's why the scripture says, trust not thine enemy, man. Never trust thine enemy. This is what it is. These devils, look, these celebrities are seeing it firsthand. And we kept telling you got Kyrie, you got all these different guys who are standing up and saying, yo, like, I can't even question this stuff no more. And we're telling you, look, when you work with Esau, the devil, he'll use you. And once he's done, he finishes his purpose, he comes against you. He comes after you. So expect for a lot of these celebrities to go through this and more. If you speak up against it, they will come after you. They don't care what you've done in the past. LeBron, let LeBron step out of line. See what they do to this guy. The same guy that they called the king, right? See what they're going to do to this guy, man. It's everyone, okay? Esau don't care, especially if you're Jake. Who the hell are you? All right? So yes, look, Australia is suffering the same consequences, all right, that we've been telling people that was going to happen. They listened, they trusted the government, they kept going along, they shut down, and we're going to extend the lockdown, we're going to do this. And they ain't step back, they ain't step up, they didn't get up and say, yo, it's too late now. And that's the thing that they're trying to do to America. Here it goes. It says Walensky, who's the head of CDC, okay, what does she do with this? Isn't the CDC stand for Center for Disease and what's it called? Center for Disease and Control and Prevention? Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, whatever. Okay, what do you have to do with guns? Diseases and guns? Those two are completely different worlds. What is she talking about? Let's read. It says Walensky, and before I read, let me see if there's some precepts. All right, Buzz posted some precepts up there. Okay, nice one right there. Hey, Shalom. All right, the brother Tazar. All right, 2nd Ezra 6:22, it says, and suddenly, boom, there you go. All right, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So the farms, that's why Bill Gates bought up a whole bunch of land in the Midwest. He's not planting nothing over there. He just bought it out so the farmers can't use the land. You don't own the land. We bought you out of it. So whatever we want to do with the land is up to us. That's what that is for. So suddenly you're going to go over there. Something that used to be known as land, there's no more land over there. The sown places, which is the land, the soil, shall appear unsown. There's no crops. Okay, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So people are going to go in there and expect to walk into a grocery store. The shelves are empty. And you're like holding a cart with a list in your hand, and nothing on the list is in the store. Because it's happening already right now as we speak. Okay? And those who don't have the spirit to know what's going on and expect, they're gonna be like, some might think, I'll come back tomorrow. And the more you wait, the worse it gets. But those who know what's going on, they're gonna be quick to it. Like, yo, we gotta, yo, this is it, man. Let's prepare. You know? Second Ezra 16:21 continues, says, Behold, victuals shall be sold so good cheap upon the earth, all right, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay, that's what's happening right now. All right, that is what's happening right now. There are certain things that are being sold very, very cheap. Why? Because they got to get rid of them. They've been on the shelves way too long. You know, they've been on the shelves way, way too long, man. And certain things, the prices are increasing. All right, like gases, like gas, and so on and so forth. All right, there's a book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 20 to 21. It says, But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, right? Neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor shall ever be. And that's the words of Yahushua. Okay, and this is why we pay attention to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures, because no other book will tell you the times that you're in and explain it to you in detail. Okay, and no other people on this planet Earth are going to give you the information that you need for survival. All right, which is keep your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, 100%. That's it. All right, He's going to guide you. He's going to protect you. Trust me. If the Lord says, walk 10 miles up the block, your job shouldn't be questioning, well, but Lord, what am I going to wear? I'm barefooted. What am I going to eat? What am I? Because He's prepared things for you already. All you have to do is just go. That's it. That's the kind of faith we're talking about. Yeah, not well, okay, so let me go prepare. Let me go 10 miles. Oh shit, 10 miles. I'm gonna need food. I'm gonna need water. I'm gonna need a bag that I could change. I could eat this when I get here, you know? Nah. But Lord, what am I gonna eat? He says 5 miles down, you're gonna get here. When you get here, you stop over, and then there's a man there waiting for you. You're like, okay, but what's the name of the man? How am I gonna know what if the man is not there? Don't question that. Just have that faith and just go. Okay, count the water. All right. You get there. You might get there. The man might not be there right away. But the Lord said, when you get here, there's somebody here who's going to meet you. So when you get there and the man isn't there, does that mean the Lord is lying? No. It means you keep your faith and you wait. All right. Well, I got here. Let me just wait a little bit. You might sit there a couple more hours. This man isn't there yet. Naturally, you might be, maybe I stopped at the wrong place. Was it? But no, I'm right here. This is where he told me to stop. All right. Let me just wait a little bit and see. You know, you end up falling asleep. You take a whole nap. And then you wake up and then the person comes and taps you. He's like, hey, are you so and so? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. What time have you been here for so long? Yeah, I've been here like 2-3 hours. I kind of felt tired, so I fell asleep. Oh, really? All right, cool. Come in. I have this for you, this and that. Okay, come on, the water. He gets you the stuff. He says, on you go. You're like, oh, that's it? Yeah. Damn. So the Lord made you fall asleep for those 2-3 hours to catch your breath because you about to continue the journey. But you didn't think of it like that. You see, so you have to trust in the Lord. He knows the plan ultimately. So you just got to go step by step by step with full faith, man. Don't waver. All right. Don't question. Don't doubt. Just have faith 100%. And the Lord is going to pair some of us together. You know, in these last days, we're going to be walking together. You got to have faith. Believe in the prophecies. Believe that the Lord is with us. All right. Revelation, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse. Yahweh said, well, He's going to keep us. Okay, when you go into that word keep, He says He's gonna guard us. He's gonna keep an eye on us. All right, He's gonna protect us. He's gonna provide for us. So we need not worry. Okay, all these things that's coming, don't worry about it. All right, shalom. Don't worry about it, man. Let's see. Isaiah 33:6, Prince Yanazar 144K, shalom, shalom, Yabashim Brakatah. It says Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. Okay, so we're not supposed to be in the state of looking at what the world is going through, looking at how the world is operating, and then basing our moves on that. No, stick to the plan. Because guess what's going to happen? The whole world will see that we were right the whole time. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to turn to us. Okay? So in the beginning, it might look like we taking an L. But that's how the Lord works, man. Okay? So always just pay attention and just stay firm. If He says, stay right here, I'll be back. Do not move until He comes back. And He will be back no matter how long it takes. Okay? That's the faith you need to have. Okay? Proverbs, there's a brother, Prince of Yahweh, 5, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Yes. And we are a living testament of that. We're seeing the same exact things that the world is seeing, but we perceive it differently. We see it as these are preparations to the end. They look at it as just another regular day. Oh, the shelves are empty. Okay, by next week it should be filled. No, the shelves are empty forever. You're not getting the things back. You should ask questions. You should go to these people and say, "Yo, what's up?" And they will tell you what's up. Well, there's no storages. There's no shipment coming in. We've been waiting. You know, there's nothing coming in. There's no bread. I mean, God, milk, water. These are essentials that I'm telling you. You go to the stores, pay attention. You're gonna see a whole lot of candy. The candy aisles are always filled. The detergent, those kind of things are there. The things that people don't food, dog food and shit, that's there. But the real shit that people need, the water, the paper towels, the toiletry, that shit is them are empty, and they keep getting emptier and emptier. The fruits aisles, you know, I went there, I seen banana. Normally you got banana that's green and some that's yellow. All the banana is yellow. That means it's about to go bad. They're gonna have to sell it at a cheaper price to get rid of it. Right now, ain't nobody trying to buy banana, so there's mad banana there. You see what I'm saying? So it's all a thing you gotta pay attention to. The meat is less, but it's expensive because a lot of people are interested in that. You know, but we are the ones who are watching, and we're like, yo, this is not a good thing because we know what the prophecy says that when you see these things coming to pass, know that it's gonna get intensified. Okay, we're at the end of this thing. All right, and it's all being done by design. Look at the way that the other countries are moving. It gives you a little bit of what to expect here in America, only just magnified by infinity because the Lord really got a thing for this place. All right. Mm. Praise of Yahweh 5 once again, Psalms 71 and 4. It says, "Deliver me, O Yahweh, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man." Okay, and that's ultimately what we pray for in these days that we're coming into. Okay, that we understand that our guns are not going to save us. All right, our physical ability really is going to do not much. You know, it's not really going to do much, but ultimately, we're going to need something above and beyond what we have now, what we possess now. All right, when we look into the future and we understand, we kind of play things out like, how am I going to get over this and this and that? Your only solution is, I got to trust in the Lord no matter what. I don't got a job. I don't have this. I don't have that, but I expect to survive. How am I going to do it? Just keep my faith in the Lord. And I'm telling you, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will never let you down. Okay? Just believe that. Believe it from people who know. All right? Let's just say that. Okay? So let's read this real quick. It says, Walensky says, now is the time to tackle gun violence. Okay? What gun violence are they talking about? So in other words, prepare to see the gun violence that they're talking about because it goes back to problem, reaction, solution. All right? The same tactics that they always use. Okay, they want to get the guns out of the people's hands so they can roll in, but they can't just go in there and start grabbing guns. They got to have a reason. They need something known as public policy or public opinion. The people got to back it. Okay, or the people actually have to allow it. All right. It says Centers for Disease Control and Prevention CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, which she's a whole and a demon. All right, let's be honest. It says in an exclusive interview with CNN, addressed gun violence in America, calling it a serious public health threat. A serious public health threat? How long has this been going on? And who gave you the authority to come out here and talk about guns? Meanwhile, you're supposed to be talking about diseases. A gun is a public health threat? Says who? You see? So that they're about to start with the propaganda, like I said. So expect some type of false flag attacks, with guns, and that's how they go and justify it, because they always do. All right, something has to be done about this, Walensky said. Now is the time. It's pedal to the metal time. Oh shit, a public health threat that they telling us that there's a public, we don't know, but they telling us that there's a public health threat, right? And they need to come in and do things to save us from this public health threat. Just like how they said, we need to save you from this invisible enemy. These devils, man. It says Walensky was outlining how she plans to have her agency address gun violence, which has become an increasing concern. According to the increasing concern is gun sales went up. So people are like, yo, this shit's about to go down. You better stack up on your ammo. You better stack up on this. You better stock. And they see it. So they're like, listen, the people are armed and ready. It's not going to be as much as an easy takeover. But if we can really cut it back down by taking away their food and creating some type of dissension between the people with the Vanessa versus unvanessa, we have a chance. We have a chance. The people are hungry and they're fighting against each other. We have a nice chance right there. That's what they're doing. Okay? Starve the people out and then come in and roll in when they're weak and then take their guns out. And then after that, we could do what we got to do. All right? They're going to use FEMA to do it because it's in their executive orders. All right? And a few months back, Biden talked about how they're going to come in and start taking Bibles too. You notice how they want to do that together at the same time? They want to break your faith and your physical ability to fight. This devil he's truly the devil. All right, it says, according to the Gun Violence Archive, 611 people died in 2020 as a result of mass shootings. Mass shooting. Oh. The group defines mass shootings as 4 or more people shot or killed in a single incident, not including the shooter. That's a mass shooting. So then Chicago should always be the land of mass shooting. I mean, they don't talk about it like that, though, because it doesn't fit the narrative. Okay? President Biden in April signed a series of executive orders in April aimed at addressing gun violence, saying at the time that gun violence in the U.S. was a national embarrassment. Nigga, you are a national embarrassment. People say that. You don't see it? It says this year alone, the nation has been rocked by several high-profile mass shootings, one at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado, in March that killed at least 10 people, shootings at 3 Atlanta area spas that left 8 dead and was deemed as racially motivated, and a shooting at Rail Yard in San Jose, California that killed 8. And remember, the fact that they're using these shows that they did it. All right, they did it. It's called problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic. Okay. It says the CDC stopped conducting gun violence research in 1997 after Congress cut off funding due to pressure from the National Rifle Association. CNN noted, former President Trump signed a bill in 2018 that allowed the agency to conduct gun violence research. The news outlet noted that Congress agreed has allocated $25 million to the CDC and National Institutes of Health for gun violence research. That's what I'm saying. Look, what the hell business does the CDC have to do with guns? Ain't they supposed to be in charge of diseases and shit? You haven't even gotten over this pandemic shit that you claim. All right, there's still a pandemic, so you keep saying it. Why are you not focused on that? Now you want to tackle guns? People are not worried about guns. People are worried about getting their jobs back. That's what they're worried about. But you want to take the guns away. That's why they're building the fence. They're raising the fence in the White House, all right, the Congress, the Pentagon. Why do you think they're doing all that? Why do you think they're doing all that, man? Because they know what's coming. And what's coming is the people are going to turn and flip. It's called sedition among men, like the scripture says. All right? They can feel the energy. They feel the kind of things people are looking up on the internet, the kind of conversations people are having in their homes and so on and so forth. And it sounds like people are not happy with what's going on, man. They're looking at all these polls. Oh, people are unhappy. 50 plus percent of Americans are unhappy with the way the president is doing this. Those are all signs of some type of takeover soon. They know, according to history, when the people are not happy, they do something about it. And they know the people are going to do something about it because the Lord is about to put that spirit on them to do something about it. Okay, that's why I said they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So they're not going to have the time to be talking like this. The people need to calm down. We need to do this. We're working to make sure. Listen, all right? And people like us who come out here and blow the whistle, they get so pissed. They get so mad. They got YouTube breathing heavy, like they got a problem. Like they created YouTube. Like, nah, that's the Most High's platform. You see? So why are you getting so mad, breathing all heavy down people's necks like that? What's your problem? Like you're gonna do something about it. Once YouTube is done, that means this ministry is about to take another turn. Okay? That means this ministry is about to take another turn. There's a prophecy in Amos 8:11 that talks about the famine of the word. Okay? So that means that what? This ministry is about to take another turn. That signifies what? The end of times. Those who are given warning of the problems to come, the warning is done. That means the problems are here. How do you go about that? That's what we're teaching you about. It takes faith. Okay, it says she further said doesn't want people to think that she wants to take away. Oh wait, I didn't read it. It says Walensky told CNN that her job is to understand the scope of the problem and how to make it better. No, we don't trust you. That's the answer. Every American should be on that at this time. Everyone should be like, we don't trust the government, we don't trust the CDC, we don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. We're gonna do it ourselves. Because y'all niggas, apparently leaders of the country, look where you leading the country to. Pure chaos and hell. People are giving up, they don't know what the hell is going on, confused, you know what I'm saying? Angry, frustrated, losing everything. And now you're gonna tell us we want to make it better? How? How? You've been saying this since 2 weeks ago. I mean, since a year ago, talking about a 2 week thing, you know? And now look where we at. Now they're coming after the children. They're coming after the children. I mean, looking at information, you got mothers going to the school boards and cursing these motherfuckers out. Like, yo, you teaching children about sodomy. You're writing books about children grabbing and rubbing and sucking other children's rods and how it makes them feel and all these different things. The parents are like, even I'm an adult and I don't do these sodomite things. What are you teaching my children in school? So we're at the point where, yo, if you're a parent in the truth, don't take your children to school, bro. Just take them out of school and keep them in your home. Train them, teach them real things that matter. Scriptures, biblical things, prophecies, history. Let them read the scriptures. Let them read about the history. Those are great stories in the scriptures that your children could read and they could really be like, oh wow, this is way better than following school. Sitting in school and reading about Tom and Jack, you know, grabbing each other and being all everyone is inclusive. They keep teaching this dumb shit. All inclusive this and accept everybody. Like nobody care about that shit, bro. That's not real life. You know? It says, she further said she further said doesn't want people to think that she wants to take away their guns. Why would people think that though? I thought you guys were good people. But because that's exactly what they're gonna do, they don't want you to think that's what they're gonna do. That's how they play. But we onto you. We onto you. It says she doesn't want people to think that they're here to take away their guns, even saying that she wants to find common grounds with gun owners. Ain't no common grounds. A gun owner is a gun owner. End of story. Just because I own a gun don't mean I'm out here shooting people. So go investigate that. Arrest those criminals who are doing that. And if you really do your job, you find out that it's the feds who are doing these things. So arrest them. Don't come after regular people holding their guns and chilling and living their lives and talk about we should find a common ground. There ain't no common grounds, bro. You never have no common grounds with the devil because you know what the devil is going to do. Okay? It says, let's agree we don't want people to die. Really? Really? You don't want people to die? These devils, bro, they're too confident, bro. It says, let's just agree there. We can do, it says, what can we do to stop people from dying? Get the fuck out the way. And people are gonna stop dying. Get out of the way, just move. And people are gonna stop dying. That's how it works. That's why the Lord is gonna have to take you devils out, because once you're out of there, life springs forth out the earth again. Proverbs 29:2. The oppressor is the one coming around trying to act like he's trying to help you because you oppress. Bitch, you the one who's causing the oppression. Get out the way. If you don't get out the way, we're going to take you out the way. That's the spirit of the world right now, man. Coming out here trying to be involved in everything. You in the Department of Disease talking about we're going to talk about guns now. Get out of here, bro. All right. It says, and what can we do to stop people from being injured? Walensky said. Stop making shit up. All right. Stop. Leave people alone. Get out of people's lives and things will stop. You was a devil. You was a bitch. You was a witch. And the Most High is going to destroy you. All right. Oh. It's a lot here for that. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me get one more precept here because this is what it's building to. All right. They literally want to push us to the point where There's no defense, so they can be able to do this. All right, this right here, and this again is all prophecy. You notice how the prophecies are ringing, and people don't got no explanations to it because they see it like, yeah, you right. You know, hey, you right. Hey, you were right. I can't believe it, but everything you said, bro, hey, it's coming to pass, man. Damn, the Bible, bro. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. That's all you keep hearing. All right, but before I read that, I want to get a couple more precepts here. Hey, the brother said he was homeschooled, man. See, I was homeschooled growing up. Now I'm grateful. Exactly. You know, because you get that balance. You get that real education. Like, you actually want to learn stuff, you know? Let's see. Right here. Prince Yanazar 144 once again says, Mark 13:8, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. And that's what Yahushua said. And we're seeing those things happening now. Today I woke up, I checked this thing that I have on my phone that shows all the earthquakes that happens, because it's hard to keep track. If you don't hear about a 7.8 or 8.0, the news doesn't really talk about it. And that could be a little misleading. So I have this app that shows me the earthquakes that are happening, and they're happening constantly. Like, I'm talking seconds, interval seconds. All right. And we're talking a magnitude 4.8, 2.8, you know, that kind of thing. And it's happening. That's the prophecies, man. Okay. Every prophecy that the Lord said will happen is happening right now. Okay. So we can't be ignorant of it. Okay. This is a book of this is Brother Tazar, the book of Psalm 64:5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. And that's what the CDC witch is trying to do. Oh, we just need to find a common grounds. Like I said, there is no common grounds. Okay, the amendments say what they say, the Constitution say what they say, and if these people really believe in the Constitution, they wouldn't even come at you on that type of angle. Like, people are dying, so we need to talk to you who own a gun. Or you own a gun and people are dying from gun violence, so we need to come to you and talk to you about it. Nigga, what I got to do with that? What I got to do with that? You came and talked about the news. I watch the news just like you. What me owning a gun don't got to do with the violence that's happening? All right, but they don't want you to think of it like that. They want you to be guilty because that's the goal. You know, well, if we can all come together and if we take guns away and do this and mitigate it and put this law here and do that, all at the end of the day, you become gunless. You become defenseless, and they're gonna roll on you. That's it. That's what the devil does, man. All right, they always lie, and anyone who believes them now at this point, you're just a fool. That's just what it is. All right. It says, who shall see them? Okay, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay, so the way they think, they always process, there's always a process of time. All right, they do these tests, they take these surveys, they run all these different things. They have psychologists, okay, they have experts. These people who do public what's that shit called in businesses? You have the HR and then you have public relations. These are experts who understand the concept of how people think. Okay, back I believe the 80s or so, that's when businesses started to change their model from pretty much like they used to have this concept of this is how we do things. All right, we're a steel company, we have steel and we just sell steel. Now they said, no, we can't do it like that no more. We have to listen to what the customer is saying and go according to that. But again, it's a facade. We make it seem like we care about what they're saying, but we use it against them as long as they pay that money. Okay, so now they've used advertisement and they've used all these different things against us. All right, that's why you have something known as smartphone, smart this, smart that. Those are, I believe, it's called strategic militarized armament for residential, or I think strategic militarized armaments in residential technology or some shit like that. That's what smart means. So they used, the technology to gain information on us that they're using right now against us. So they kind of manipulate the mind, regardless of how you think or what you think you're doing. It plays in how they want you to think. Okay, which Lord willing, I'll do a whole lesson on that. Again, it's all about edification. Okay, so you understand the nature of the devil. See the brother here, right here. 3.3 earthquake took place in my city this morning. See? You see? So that's all part of the prophecies, man. We're living in the end times, man. This is all happening. Okay? But let's get this right here and I'm going to close it out. All right? This is what it's leading to. They start talking about guns. All right? They want to talk about there's a gun violence. It's because they're about to make their move. Okay? It wasn't just guns that they're talking about. They're talking about Bibles too. So, yeah. All right? They're showing you that they're really the devil, man. Okay? This is a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. All right? Verse 69. I'll start off at 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach. So even those who agree to do this thing, oh yeah, I'm gonna just take it because of my job or whatever, you gonna still be in derision. You gonna still be in reproach. You gonna really, they talking about there's breakthrough cases. I thought you were protected, but you are gonna be the problem. No matter what the government says, no matter what the media says, and they try to hide it and try to put a different narrative out there, the truth is going to speak for itself. That's why they're saying you got to go get booster shots. We told you this was going to happen. All right. Now YouTube is saying if you talk about these things, we're going to take you down. Once again, targeting the truth. It says and trodden underfoot. So they're coming for everyone. When the troops come out, they're coming for everyone, especially those who are Vanessa, because you're just dead while you walk. You're dead while you liveth. You're of no importance. You're just withering away as you live. And that's what this thing is doing to people. Verse 7, he says, For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay? So it's going to be a very few of us, but we're going to be very great in number in terms of the power that we have, the influence that we have. All right? And people are going to notice it. And it's going to be a time where soon, if you profess some type of faith in the Lord or in the Bible or anything like that, you're going to be demonized. They're going to come against you because that's the world that we're living in now. These people are able to say, oh, no Bibles, no prayers, no religion in schools, but yet they're teaching Satanism in schools. They're pushing for, a sodomy for these children to learn. So they're shunning away from righteousness and embracing wickedness. You go to school, your teacher is a whole full-blown Satanist, man. They got the tattoos and all this, and that's who's teaching your children. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And that's what's happening in Australia. You got police officers running and trucking old people. You have an old lady standing outside by her, minding her own business, trying to get some fresh air. And they just boom, run over her and just grab her, tackle her, put her in cuffs. You're like, what's going on over there? Why? Because she's not wearing a mask. You got to put your mask on. It's like, yo, dude, relax. A lot of these guys, they're all soft, man. They hide behind the badge and they act all tough. And if you were to strip the badge out of them and meet them one-on-one in the parking lot somewhere, it'll be a different result. All right, like I said, very soon, the scripture is saying it. Very soon, you so-called centurions, you police officers, you soldiers, you niggas that do nigga shit and be wicked, all right? People are not going to look at you they're not going to look at you the same. The laws are not going to stand. People are not going to be respecting the law no more. Then Yahushua say that because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So there'll be a state of lawlessness that if you assault a police officer, these are the consequences. No, we're entering into the times where if you're a police officer, you better not be pulling that shit around. When you see a gang of people coming around, you better take that badge off and act like you one of them. Because if you want to stand up and be all the government and you got to step back, and they will run you down, they will truck you. Jake is about to start getting roused up. And you notice how one Jake, you got 14 different police officers he'd be shot dead in the street. And they're still running, putting him in cuffs. Hey, stop resisting. Hey. Nigga, he's dead. Relax. All right? Because they already know the spiritual power aspect. That's why they always come very, very cautiously. You see there? Wait, just make sure, hey, hey, put your hands down. Put your hands where I can see them. They do all these different things when it's Jake. But when it's an Edomite, there was one cop would pull up and talk to him all nice. And how you doing, sir? This and that. Okay. You good to go. Yeah, you saw no threat. But it's Jake. And one Jake is a problem. So how much more all Jakes in all these different neighborhoods? The Lord put the spirit on them. Scripture says, who shall rouse them up? Judah is going to get roused up. And once that happens, all hell, there's nothing. Forget about it. You shoot him and he's still coming. What you gonna do then? And then you got the men of the Lord who got spiritual power coming in here and setting order. Boy, look at here, it's over. This thing is finished. And that's what we're telling you, man. Okay? These devils, yo, you bit off more than you could chew. You just didn't anticipate this kind of power that's coming to this place. You knew it was going to come. You just didn't anticipate it's going to be like this. But just wait till you see the glory and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it's going to be lived through his people. You're going to see the majesty of the Israelites. All right? these people, man. All right? It says, they shall be destroying those that fear the Lord. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So, like I said, FEMA is going to be coming to your houses very soon in the name of search and rescue. You know, we're here to protect you. We're here to, you know, make sure that everything is good in your house and so on and so forth. No, that's not why they're coming. They're coming to see what you got and how are you a threat to their system and how they could take you out. Okay, and it's already in their executive orders that they will come to houses. They will take your anything you own, food especially, and your weapons. Those two things, they're going to be taken away. All right, and they're going to cast people out their houses, meaning they'll grab you, off you go, concentration camp. Okay, and if you listen to the David Goldberg interview that he did, he was talking about it. He said they have all these different projects going on. All right, Project Pogo, Project this, Project Zypher, Project that. All these things that they're doing, they're gathering intel on how they're going to use it against the people. Okay, and it looks like they're using a lot of tactics at the same time with disinformation, misinformation, and gradualism. Okay, all these things are happening all at the same time. So it's a psyop. And by the time they're ready, people are not going to know exactly what angle to take, except for those who have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the scriptures are talking about. Okay, because Esau is not going to deviate from the prophetic plan. So if we already know the prophetic plan, then you know what's going to happen step by step. And that's that wisdom and knowledge that's going to keep you stable. But for the rest of the world who don't know what's going on, it's going to happen like so many things at once. That's that great confusion that's going to be upon this place. America is going to live up to her name. All right. The city of confusion, Babylon the Great. All right. The land of great confusion, man. All right. And people are not going to escape it. All right. It says right here, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold of the fire. And the trying is happening now. Okay, and it's been happening for years, but now you're starting to see, all right, the end result of having that faith in the Lord, going through the journey, going through, living living the bare minimum, having a job that's not so-called looked at or esteemed in society. Brothers were doing construction, you're doing Uber, you're doing all these app-based jobs that people look at you and they're like, that's what you do for a living? Well, I don't live like you, bro. We're a different breed. You can't do what I do. You can't live how we live. We have a different spirit. So yeah, that's what I do for a living. Now, when the time comes and everybody got to live like this, we're going to be used to it. All right? We're going to be used to it. What about you? That's the real question. You're so used to being in luxury and people doing things for you and having this income coming in every week and living above your means. Now it's time to live way below your means. How do you cope with that? It's going to be you have to destructure. You have to think, you got to rethink the way you move. And you're not used to that. How are you going to do that? You're not. That's why you're going to get caught off guard, man. And a lot of people don't get caught in this thing, man. All right. And that's what we're saying. All right. Whether they believe it or not, we don't really care. It's not about that. It's about giving out the word. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 28. It says, but where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, and if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble, for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. So a lot of our people, all right, you turn to Jesus Christ and all these different, I don't believe in God. And you try to do all this logical little corny shit. Like, how can a God do all these questions that people ask? Just ignorantly asking questions. The scriptures tell you everything. If you listen, at least we could direct you to where you got to go to get it so you can get the understanding. But a lot of you are filled with pride. And it's not just pride, willful pride and willful ignorance. And that's going to lead to a lot of people's destruction because the information was there. You just chose not to listen to it. Okay? You just know not to listen. You just didn't listen to it. All right, it says, wherefore will ye plead with me? Ye all have transgressed against me, saith the Lord Yahweh. So Proverbs 1, baby, when he called, he didn't listen. All right. When he stretched forth his arm, people didn't listen, man. They turned their shoulder. All right. When we were given warning, and we're still doing it till today, you got people who don't see it. They just don't see it. You know? Hey, but that's a blessing. That's why those who see it, that's a blessing, man. You count yourself special. Like, damn, look at all this stuff. I could see it. I saw it years before it happened. We saw it months before it happened. And we weren't wrong. You know, we weren't wrong. All right. Again, one more precept. All right. The book of Ezekiel. All of a sudden, I can't spell Ezekiel. Ezekiel 17 and verse 9. It says, they shall cast their silver in the streets and their gold shall be removed. Okay. So the money is, once you realize that, damn, it's just paper. Wow. This whole time I was chasing paper. I was literally chasing paper. I thought it was money, but I was paper. Yeah. When you go to the bank and they're telling you, listen, you can't take this amount of money. The banks don't got money for you. Come back tomorrow. Come back this. Oh, there's a shutdown. There's like, you can't get your money. What are you going to do then? We've been telling you, you got to keep your faith in the Lord, man. You go a couple of days without food and the reality setting in, like, yo, like, what are you going to do? Yo, man. It says, their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Most High. Okay? You're not going to be able to buy your way out of this. Like I said, you might have the money, but the things that you're looking for is not going to be there. You got the money to buy the food, but there ain't no food. That's the Lord coming at you. That's the wrath of the Most High. How are you going to escape that? You can't buy your way out of that. You might have the money physically to buy a ticket, but they're not serving tickets because you ain't got the thing. Or even if you do get the thing, there's limitations to it. How many people can go at the same time? How many people can go out at this time? There's a curfew here. There's this here. There's a checkpoint here. They're about to stress people out, man. I'm telling you, watch. Okay, it says, they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Okay, so the Lord is gonna come back at you for the shit that you did. You set yourself up. All right, you were building up your own thing. That's why it says in Galatians 6 and 7, the Most High is not mocked. Okay, a lot of people mocking the Lord. You got all these guys. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Or when the time comes, I'm gonna do that. Or when this happens, I'm gonna be here. Oh, you don't know me, bro. Shit, I'm gonna be right. Look, bro, you just all talk. When reality sets in, the talking stops. The women stop talking. Okay, they go into the natural, their natural ways of reaction. Now they're not looking at the guy who has all the money, who has a car, because that shit doesn't matter. It's about who can really use his hands, who can command authority, who can say this, who can do that, who can say, yo, this is the plan, and actually go ahead with it. You know, this is what it's going to come down to: basic survival, and those who know how to survive in real life. Like I said, you can take a live chicken and turn it into food. You can take a deer and turn it into food without being scared, and actually doing it the right way. Where to cut, how to cut it, carry it here so it doesn't leave certain marks. And the winter time is coming. These animals, these wild animals, they're going to start coming closer and closer. So be ready to encounter these kind of animals. You might see a bear like right outside your window. Are you going to panic? You know what I'm saying? You know how women are, you know how children are. As a man, you want to protect them. All right? So these are all things, man. If you're a man of the Lord and you got a family, you're thinking about that. That could be a burden onto you. But we cast our burdens onto the Lord and he always provides for us, right? You could be a sister in this truth. Your husband might not believe or whatever it might be. Keep your faith in the Lord. Okay? This is not right now, it's all about faith. The spirit has to be equipped with faith. Okay? Having the faith, man, and it has to be bold and it has to be blind. You have to have faith in the Lord, man. Do not trust these devils. Nobody could do anything for you but the Lord. All right? No one can stop the calamities that's coming. Nobody's going to help you out of it. Nothing but Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? So you got to have faith in that, man. No other way but this way. We all got to go through it. Okay? We all got to go through it. All right? There's a book of, there's a Prince Yanazar 144 once again. Isaiah 19 verse 17. It says, the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Yep. It says, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid of him, afraid in him, because of the counsel of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna have, like I said, Jake is gonna finally get together and rouse up and be like, yo, enough is enough. We ain't gonna take this BS no more, because they're gonna make it clear who the target is. All right. That's why, let's get it real quick. All right. This is a time of who? Of Jacob's trouble, right? There's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. It says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So the trouble is really targeted towards Jake. All right. This whole thing that they started, it was really to exterminate Jake. Their last one effort before they shift into a new world order, we got to get rid of these people. And guess what? They're going to do exactly that. But what? But he shall be saved out of it, the elect of the nation of Israel. So, Lord, when we are part of that number, we're going to be delivered, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be delivered. The Lord is not going to keep us in this thing where we're going to get thrust through by whatever that's coming. We're going to be equipped for it. Okay? And just have faith in that. All right? Like I said, have faith in that, because you see us doing it. All right? You have no excuse. Okay? You have no excuse, man. This is who we are as a nation, as a people. We're a people of faith. And now we're entering into a time where it calls upon us to have the most faith. Okay? All these people that go to church and all these different things, guess what? You all talked about having faith and God loves, but when the time comes, you broke. A lot of you actually listen to church and you end up destroying yourselves, man. But it's too late for some of you. But those of us who have the faith, we're going to keep our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? And he will always deliver. Always. He will never, ever let us down. All right? There's a book of Genesis, the brother Tazar, Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. It says, from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to rouse him up. And when the time comes, you know how lions are. Okay? They're very calm, but when it's time for them to tear some ass up, damn right they tear some ass up. Okay? So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Guess what? We're going to have the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, to prevail in these times. Okay, whether it's to defend ourselves, to defend our families, whatever it might be. All right? But just keep the faith, man. Have the faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because now is the time that it calls for it. Okay, yeah, the reality says what they say, but our reality is the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? And deliverance is coming, man. Yeah, destruction is coming, but for the wicked. All right? Keep your faith in the Lord and see the glory and the majesty of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? So I'm going to leave it off there, Lord, and you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash. All right. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Brakathum to everyone who joined me on the comment board. All right. And who tuned in to watch. All right. And until next time, Shalom.